Hey, you know what's crazy, man?
What's that, bro?
This song is like, oh,
For real, I thought I typed on. I went to sleepless.
yeah. But no, it's just crazy because like I had this song. Man.
I thought this was the one that was on work. I mean, work ain't work on this one.
No, Work by itself. That's the same.
Oh, okay, I did see that. I thought the pictures looked the same. That was my bad. I thought it looked the same.
Born to flex, never break a sweat. Born to flex, never break a sweat. Get a check, hop right in the jet.
How did I do? Oh, I had it higher. Alright, well. I hate commercial. I'm sorry.
Right, yeah. That was one of the good things about the ads, man.
Alright, yeah, that's cool right there. Alright. Welcome to another episode of The Pilot where we interview upcoming artists taking off. Today we got an urban legend in the building, a pro at what he does, a producer, a rapper, a beat maker, a mixer, a masterix, a musical hero, in my opinion, a brother, a friend, a commodity to the community, Fab Gta. How you feeling, brother?
Man, I'm feeling cool, man. Blessed to be here.
Thank you, man. Long time no see, man. Definitely nice to see you, man. I appreciate you for coming out today, man. You ain't had to be here, man, but you accepted my request and you came out, man. I thank you a lot for that. It's been a minute too, man. Like it's high school. For those that don't know, man, it's my high school friend, man, who helped me along the way, and with my music and in life, man, helped me develop great beat making skills. And I really don't know where I'd be if he ain't helped me back in like 2009 when the times was real trying. You know what I'm saying? So you feel me? Life was kicking ass, and I ain't know who I was. I'm trying to learn myself. You feel me? I call myself trying to be grown, you know what I mean? So that's what it is. So that's pretty much that. But like I was saying, you were a producer and a beat maker, a rapper. Overall, you inclined in the musical world. When did you get into music? Like, how old was you?
Alright, so as far as entertainment goes, I'd say I've been in that business for a long time, since like 6 or 7. Probably before that, for real, because I've been like doing performances and stuff. You know, the little in-house stuff, climbing on the crates, putting on the show for the aunties and the uncles and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So I've been doing that. But as far as like really producing and taking it serious, I think I was probably like 12, like 28.
This nigga said 12, my nigga. Goddamn, you 28, nigga. That's.
So I've been doing this for a minute.
I'm damn about 20. So can you remember the first thing that inspired you to get on the microphone?
First thing that inspired me to get on the microphone, man, was just seeing that reaction that you get from people when they entertained by you. You know what I'm saying? You doing something like positive, like that. I don't know, man.
So like, what was you using? Just rap it to your I'm like, how did that go?
I mean, it'll be songs playing, and like as a little kid, I'm just rapping little dumb stuff.
Okay.
Over the beats and the vocals and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's what I used to do.
Okay, so pretty much you like, people was reacting to that.
Yeah.
What you was saying, like, oh, you kind of nice,
like,
and you stuck with that.
Good, like you good with music, so they knew I was musically inclined from a young age. So.
Okay. How old? You don't know?
Man, how old? Yeah, this is like single digits. This before I was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Before you even picked up the craft.
Yeah, before I even like started taking it like technical. You know what I'm saying?
So is that like kind of what made you stick to it? Like, what made you stick with it? Like, and like, you feel me? Really be like, this is it. This is what I can do this.
Just being able to touch people, man,
and
so help people. Like I was saying, like, you know, if you somebody down or something, and then you can do something to bring them up. Like I ain't good at talking, but I'm good at making music, or you know what I'm saying, putting words together or sounds together. Yeah. So I would do that, and it'll help people. Or shoot, even if you sad, you need something sad to listen to. I got that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like being able to touch people with it.
Okay.
Made me stick with it.
Wow, that's crazy. So I don't got this question on here, but do you remember your first rap name?
My first rap name, ooh, man, I had a couple, but I think my old one was it was Demon on the Mic.
Oh, the whole thing.
Yeah, that.
Explain. I don't think I heard this one.
Man, all right. So, I mean, shoot, me and my brother Twist, we go back, like
Right.
back. So we just came up with some crazy names, man. But we was into like Slim Shady, you know what I'm saying?
Hell
We was
yeah.
into Clown Posse and stuff like that, like Tech Nine, you know what I'm saying? The old Bone back when they was doing like the Skulls and stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
So I was like, shit, I'm about to just be Demon on the mic, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
And I used that for a couple of years, but them raps ain't never get out.
I feel you. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, so after you changed your brand over and over, renaming the label and yourself, could you tell me today who is Fab Gta and is he different from Dante?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Fab Gta, I mean, I still got, you know what I'm saying, that other rap persona, but I think he more like, you know, like how T.I. had T.I. versus Tip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How the one was the street dude, the one was like the one that was about his biz, you know,
For sure.
stuff like that. I feel like Fab Gta more of that one, like more about business and taking it more in depth instead of just creating and just putting out the art and just putting out that straight grime and stuff like that. I was like, you know, he cleaned up, you know what I'm saying? Had some different stuff like jumping from style to style, whether it's drill, R&B, you know what I'm saying? Like keeping it hip hop too. I feel like Fab Gta is the one that do all of that. But my other persona, Vino, he just like, yeah, he just rapping a whole bunch of dark stuff.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. So Vino, what about that name? Where did that come from?
That came from when, you know, me and Twist and T.Y. came together, YT, back in the old days.
What's YT?
YT.
For those people that don't know.
Oh shoot, YT, I used to be Young Thugs. So we,
Okay.
you know, we
Just straight up like that.
yeah, we was Young Thugs for real, for real.
I got
But
you.
that's because, you know, we was bones and stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
And we was bone thugs, nigga. We young, we in Cleveland, we Young Thugs. So
Right.
That's what we did. But Vino, I mean, he came from just us having like three different sides of like wickedness. You know what I'm saying? Like I would say venomous one because you know how like snakes got venom and stuff like that. And like all you gotta do is just strike them once. You know what I'm saying? Like prey with that venom one time and it's over with.
For sure.
And that's all I have to do. You know what I'm saying? I get on the mic. All I really gotta do is get on the mic and then get off the mic and they messed up. So that's why most of the songs shoot. Sometimes I would go first just to get people like, dang man, what do they got next? And then T.Y. and Twist, they brought something different to the table. So it was like, they were like, oh, I wasn't expecting him to rap like that. And then, you know
Right,
what
for
I'm
sure.
saying? So it was good because people would be used to me going straight in. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, with no hesitation. Like when you hear like, music, like I say stuff that's relevant and stuff like that, but I make sure the way I put it together, like really smooth. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I feel you. So what's I ain't got this question either, but listening to you, you got more than one persona. What are some of the benefits of having more than one?
Shoot, for me, man, it's one I can block certain emotions and certain feelings and thoughts out. You know, Vino, I kind of want to feel that pain, that little bit of anger and stuff that I got built up inside. And when I'm Vino, you know what I'm saying, I let that out. So that's one benefit. I can do that, but when I do that, I'm doing it on the mic. And then as far as Gta, I mean, that's why I'm here today. Like, is to keep me focused and keep doing things that's gonna elevate me in this business. For sure, people think like it's a game. Like it's just because it's a music game or stuff like that. Or this is not a game. Like this it's really you gotta know your business.
Right.
You gotta know your business. If you don't know your business, you can be out here. You can be getting dicked around by anybody because you don't know your business. And that's what having those two personas, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes if I get stressed out from the business, I just be like, you know what I'm saying, block these emotions, these thoughts out, let me be, let me go ahead and just let this stuff out, put it on the mic, and then still benefit from it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell
Instead of doing
I fuck with that. The reason I asked though seriously is because like now, like you know what I'm saying, everybody got a rap name, but I don't think most people identify a rap name as being different from who they are, or as a different personality, or even thinking to create another personality that could potentially be more focused or even more sad. Like anything. I mean, more people probably do it when it comes to negative emotions and don't know it. You feel me? Like it's easy to go into a dark place and be depressed and let that shit consume you and try to find attention and be a whole nother person for real and don't know it. So, but I feel like it's harder when it comes to, because the way we was conditioned, of course, to see an objective and literally just go get it.
Right.
Like, you feel me? Most people don't understand that you got that power. And so,
basically.
But I think that when it comes to the two personalities, it can be, like you said, you can block out those emotions, even if those emotions are being lazy. Yeah. You feel me? And so you said with Fab Gta being about business, you feel me? Like, it's almost like when I was asking you, definitely wasn't asking Vino, I'm asking Fab Gta to come through. So you feel me? Like, I mean, if I was asking Vino, I probably would have been ready to rap or something, or record or something. But you feel me? For sure, like, definitely was wondering them benefits just for that specific, for my own personal purpose. Because like I said, I ain't had that question. So, continuing on, what was the name of your first song, if you remember? Tell me about the experience, your first time recording.
Man, my first song that I probably recorded, oh man, it was Swagger Like Us. It was a remix I did.
For sure. Everybody's first song probably was a remix.
Hey, bro, that was probably like the worst verses. Even the verses that I never record was better than my first recorded actual vocals, man.
Hell yeah.
Man, you know what I'm talking about.
What was you first recording on? Like, what was the very first, like, was it Mixcraft? That was it? That was the first one?
Oh, the very first thing I was recording on was a tape recorder.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, a tape recorder.
Like
I carried it around the school. Like, when I was in elementary school, I carried around a tape recorder.
Wow.
We'd go to recess, be over by the stairs and stuff, rapping on the tape recorder.
Wow.
Yeah, and then once I got like, man, we got to put a beat behind it, because we was just doing acapellas or had a beat playing and sit it by while recording, so everything would just pick up.
Yeah.
But once I started thinking like, man, we gotta have a better beat, I started, you know what I'm saying, doing this on the tables and stuff. Yeah. Started putting the beat on there, and I was doing that to probably like 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th grade. Like, wow. Yeah, for like 4 years, but
yeah, no, I never got the tape recorder experience. I did once, and then I didn't. So what happened was, I was in 7th grade when a nigga he gave me his physical tape and was like, yeah, this is me and my niggas rapping. And I went home and popped that in, and the first thing you hear is the Confessions Usher beat. This nigga says, see, we stay swinging dogs. So my niggas riding down, coming on 20 volts. It wasn't that bad. I was like, that shit was pretty cool. But my first song on the motherfucking track was to... What the fuck? That's the first Soulja Boy song, man. Crank that, man. That's what the fuck I rap to first. And just thinking about it, I don't even remember the hook. It was on some remix shit. Like we had the same flow, you know, we switched the words up, like something in that bitch.
Right,
watch me scream, watch me snip. I remember we did parodies, like I had Hungry Man up in this hole, watch me eat and eat some more. Nigga, watch me crank that Hungry Man and something on that hole, Hungry Man that hole. Like, but like, yeah, that was definitely the first. And I recorded, my mom, she had a laptop. It was like an IBM, and in the middle of that motherfucker, right there was this little dot. I'm like, man, what the? I'm like, I know that ain't what the fuck I think it is. That looked like a motherfucking microphone. And me, so another backstory real quick. Back in like '95, we had computers in the house with no internet. So I'm going to start pressing every button because there ain't shit else to do on the computer. So this is how I figured out all the ins and outs of computers and shit. So one thing I found out was there's a sound recorder on there. So I'm like, sound recorder. I went to that bitch. It's automatically linked in with your computer mic, and I record. Check, play that shit back. Oh my God, it's going. And so I didn't realize a lot of different shit. So I didn't realize there was software out there or nothing. So I end up, I'm YouTubing beats. just hitting play, and I'm recording on there, and
Oh, yeah.
and you can't fuck up because you feel me. You only got one take, and I remember my very next investment was a microphone from Walgreens that could plug right into that shit
It's
right
that
there.
little hole.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's going. I didn't realize it was a mono mic, and everything kept coming out the left speaker
Right.
and shit, and I just did not understand that. Like I didn't get that.
It's only one side.
Yeah, it was like because it only had that one little black print.
Mm-hmm.
The kids outside going crazy today. But yeah, it was that only one little ring around it, so it was a mono mic and shit. And I didn't back then. I ain't understand nothing about microphones. I'm trying to figure out why that shit always coming out one sided and shit. But it wasn't bad. Like I said, with YouTube beats, and for some reason, I guess the feedback from the speakers to the mic wasn't bad. Like so, I'm getting the beat. Yeah, so I'm getting the beat, but I ain't getting the feedback, and I'm rapping.
Right.
And I'm doing it. I'm making songs and shit. And they sounded better when I got my mic. They sound like they out there protesting for something. I was about to say. So then, it wasn't until I don't even remember what made me think of going to look up. I literally one day I think we had internet and I was on there. I typed in recording software. Well, I typed in Mixcraft, and that was a wrap from there.
Yeah.
And then beats came later. So I don't think I asked you about beats. I think I more so asked you about the tape recorder and stuff. And then you did say you was beating on the table the 7th and 8th grade. What made you get into beats?
Oh man, the band. Like y'all know like band days from like Shaw days. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I know the band from like Prospect days, like playing the bells and stuff like that.
Oh,
you know what I'm
yeah?
saying? Like when I first started, I think I was playing the drums, the trumpet, and the clarinet.
That's fucking crazy.
Like that's what I started with in the piano, but you know you ain't had a piano in like band like in school. But them was the first 3 instruments that I really started to play with.
Wow.
And shoot, I listened to it so much Michael Jackson. I'm like, bro, like listening to his beats, these sounds ain't like you can't like really program these sounds unless you using a human voice.
Yeah.
Or a human body. So I was like, shoot, if he can make beats with his voice, and I tried it, it didn't work. So I'm like, shit, let me get 2 pens or pencils and start tapping them. That's your hi-hats. When you snap it down, when you snap it down, that's like your snare.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To use your hands, that's the
bass.
Yeah, when you do that, that's your bass. And that used to work. Bro. I started doing that. And started making my own beats, and then we started rapping to them in school. I'm like, oh, this is over with. Like,
So when did you convert to software?
ooh, the software, man. Let's see. Probably like 2 years before I got out of school, like out of high school. So 2 or 3.
No, because in 09, when I ran away in 09, I was in 9th grade. You was already making beats.
Yeah, I was about to say, oh shit, goddamn. So before that, you know what? When did my grandma get my first computer? That's when my very first computers, when I started using software. I'm talking about had the cracked FL Studio from Live, what was it? LimeWire.
Oh my god! I didn't even realize LimeWire was the first like free torrent website, and I didn't know. Like I'm downloading fucking music,
movies. I'm talking
just
about
music
games,
for me.
man.
I ain't getting, and that's what I'm saying. It was like uTorrent.
Yeah.
You feel me? So you could really download pirated games, pirated movies, every fucking thing. But I'm just using software that costs money and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm in this bitch just using it for music. And I'm thinking about it now, like and I thought about it like recently. Was LimeWire like uTorrent? Yeah. But nobody went back to check, so I didn't even think that shit. But, so you went to LimeWire. What made you go to LimeWire? Was it a YouTube video or something?
Nope, I was in school. I ain't gonna lie. Niggas was in school. We wanted to listen to music. We had a little MP3 player and stuff. We wanted to listen to music before.
I know about the music side of LimeWire, but what made you go to the software?
Because I was already using it, like in school. So I'm like, if I can steal music from here, and sometimes when you search it, other stuff pop up. And I'm like, man, I want to start making our own music instead of using this. So I chose, shit, I'm about to look up some beat making software. For some odd reason, I found like FL Studio, but it was like the demo. Like I tried to get it patched or whatever. It was just the demo, so I used that. This was like, no, you know what, I do remember. This was in 2007.
Okay.
Yeah, this was in 2007.
Right.
I freaking remember it too, because I was upstairs. I had to use the Ethernet cord, and it wasn't no Wi. We ain't had no Wi-Fi in the house. I used the Ethernet cord to connect to the internet.
What, like, was you at AOL or some shit?
No, we had AT&T.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had AT&T in the house, but I connected to the Ethernet cord, and first thing I went to was LimeWire, because I was already downloading music. We was downloading movies and watching movies in class.
Okay, so you like this the thief site?
Yeah. So I'm like, they might as well have something for beat making software. So I'm like, shoot. They had different beat making software up there. I'm like, all right, my first thing, I tried Audacity. Couldn't make beats off of there. So I'm like, what the fuck I'm supposed to do with this?
Right.
Deleted it. And then I seen something else that popped up there. I think it was like Beatport or some stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like the sequence things. I was like, I cannot use this.
Okay, I feel
And
you.
then I found FL Studio, the old version. I think it was like 6 or 7. Man, that motherfucker. I not only thought you had your kick, your clap, your hat, and the other thing. I thought it was always only that. So I'm making beats with that. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Found a way to start using the guitar. And I just started making beats like that, man. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Like back in 07,
I remember, for me, what happened? In 04, we went to visit my brother-in-law, my ex-brother-in-law, Meezy, and my big sister they was married and they was living in Maryland. And we went to visit, and I'm young, I gotta be like 11, 12, and her husband at the time is making beats using Reasons.
That's another thing, that propeller head shit.
Yeah.
That's another thing that popped up there. Yeah.
And so he using Reasons and shit, and he making nice ass beats and shit. And I couldn't fuck with Reasons because all of them goddamn chords and shit that you could see. So I wasn't fucking with all of them analyzers and shit. But he had Fruity Loops on there too. Yeah. And this was back when I did not know shit. And I'm gonna tell you how I know I ain't know shit. Cause I remember grabbing a nigga, he had a stack of blank CDs. I remember popping one of them bitches in and dragging Fruity Loops and Reasons over to that bitch, like, yeah, and popping that bitch out and going to my computer like, where the software at? What the fuck? I'm dragging shortcuts and shit. Man. So it was crazy. So that was around the time I even got more integrated, because after I was so salty, I had to look up how to get the setup. You feel me? Yeah. So, but so I started to use Fruity Loops and then I pretty much gave up. I was like, beat making probably ain't for me. Then my oldest brother started using Fruity Loops, and he was completely ass at that shit. Like, he making the worst beats ever. And so I knew my music skills came from church. Yeah, so that's where I learned how to play drums and piano, essentially. And so them two alone, I knew right there is how I make beats. I can play piano, I can play drum. I always wished it was two of me, so another me can go get on the drums and I could, sit there and play the motherfucking piano. But it never was, and I had to deal with it. So beat making. I get my I'm watching my brother make these and I'm like, man, I gotta get on there and I gotta show him how it's done. And that's literally was my motivation, was to show him how it's done. Show my big brother that this ain't for him. And if anybody's supposed to be making beats, it's gonna be me. So you feel me? Because I knew how to make sounds. I was great with putting chords together. That was the easiest shit. So that was that. Getting me a bass, and then I was so shitty at it because I didn't understand the dynamics of bass, middle sound, and a high sound, and same with EQing and shit. So everything.
Music, and then the technical side.
I'm gonna tell you one thing I did start cheating and doing. They had in Fruity Loops, they had songs already, templates and shit. So I would go to those because they was EQ'd and shit, and I would just switch the sounds in and out, and take out some of the sounds, put them where I want, and I was doing that for a while. And then this girl caught me because I was putting my music on MySpace, and she was like, "Nigga, all your beats sound the same." Nigga, I'm like, she it's like using that same instrument every time. I'm like, man. Because I was, man. That was some of the shittiest music. I'm so glad you can't MySpace that shit. I tried to go find it on MySpace. They was like, that shit gone. I'm glad about that. I had blood pictures on there, throwing up gang signs, shitty ass music about being a blood. I'm 12, 13 years old, 14. I'm 9th fucking grade making this shit. So then, in ninth grade, and I ran away and I ran into you, and I literally sat back and watched and asked all the questions and just I will never forget going from like it was like Fruity Loops got the sequence thing too that start off with, so I'm using that, and then like you completely just turned on the piano roll and it was over. Beats immediately. I got home and got to immediately making motherfucking beats. Just became I felt like I could became the shit, and then I felt like I had the great mentor that had taught me, and then on top of my own piano skills, I'm like, man, I already know what I'm capable of.
Right,
so you feel me? Like that shit just elevated all the beat shit right there. Literally like watching like one or two. I think I was there for like 2 weeks. Ran with the Runaway, so I'm watching this shit like literally up motherfucking close. Like I think we came over there to hang out one day. Remember, like, cause you cool with Luke and shit too, and we went over there and I watched you do it, and then we went home, and then I remember running away, and that's when I came back and really got the crash course of that shit though, like, and so like that's really where the bulk of it came from. After that, it's just all trial and error. Like I remember first time using the vocodex. You feel me? Like that's my favorite thing to fucking use. I know usually I would say you need two people. You don't really need two people. You just need the mic right there and the keys right there. But it's hard for me because I know what I'm playing. So in my head I be singing that shit. Yeah. And then the other hard thing is even if there was somebody else, like I had somebody else try and they trying to sing, I'm like, just talk, man, just talk. I got all the sound, just talk. He could not do it. He's like, and the only way I got it right one time where I had my nigga rap, and then I was able to insert his track into the vocodex and then press record and play. So that's what I had to end up doing. I ended up doing it for one of my songs called All I Ever Wanted, where I literally did that All I Ever Wanted, and I got it in vocodex. I published that, and then I put that in the beat. So I not only got that one little saying in there because it would have been too much to try to make a whole verse with that shit and all that shit. But yeah, though, like that's definitely interesting to see like how you came up with that shit. Cause like I said, I wasn't there for that part. I came in when you was making the motherfucking beats, already good at rapping, and you was Young Thugs already, really. Right. So you feel me in Eagle City? You feel me? That shit was crazy. So damn. Okay, so coming from the bottom, as we talked about, you and I, others alike, chose to create studios in our very own home with software and hardware that we could get our hands on. How old was you when you finally stepped into what you would consider a real studio?
You talking about owning one or just stepping
into a real studio?
Let's see, stepping into a real studio. Damn, man, how old was I when this nigga just turned 18, man? Let's see, I must have been 16. I think it's 2 years apart. So yeah, when I was 16, that was my first time.
Okay.
And to me it was real because the nigga had like the setup, big ass speakers, sit around. Right. This was a basement studio too, so that's why I was like, you see how mine started. It was a basement,
for sure.
Stuff. And then he had the little walkway. And then he had the booth. In the booth, you can hear yourself in the headphones.
Yeah, you was like, oh my God, I already know how it was. So, okay, so then from there, what was like, besides, you feel me, yours, what's like the best studio you ever been to?
The best studio I ever been to? I ain't gonna lie to you, I ain't been in that many studios.
I remember the reason I asked because I remember that one studio that was in that backyard and it was a garage.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
That shit was nice as fuck. Now that's a real because you built it to be exactly what it is. You built it. You put the walls. You had the window with the double doors. All that shit. You feel me? You had everything in there, and I'm like, and I didn't even see you working. I think I seen you work on a couple beats and shit. You smoked and shit, and I was like, that was it for real. But no, that's why I asked. I just wanted to know, like, I ain't know you ain't never been to Studywood.
Nope, never been.
Me either. I know the nigga that, like, I used to go to the nigga house and watch him do his magic and shit before it was Studywood. Like, he stayed on Park Grove and shit. Right. And I kind of had a gripe with him because I wanted to be in. I wanted him to tell me how to get my music on 107.9. And he was acting like he couldn't do it. But then turn around and ask me, like, man, all I need is somebody to teach me how to play them keys. And I'm just like, man, come on now. We business versus business. Hell yeah. Oh shit, we got niggas in the chat. Oh shit, go ahead, dog. Well, nigga, you got love coming from everywhere. I see. That's what's up, man. Hell yeah. Okay. All right. So okay, come on. I'm recording you. All right. So now, all right. My next question: what is your favorite song from any artist?
My favorite song. Like favorite song ever?
Yeah.
That's a real hard choice.
Okay, well, what's the first one that came to mind? And you was like, okay, I could say this, but then you thought of like a couple more different ones. Like,
Man, y'all gonna laugh though. I ain't gonna lie.
shit, I mean,
Like
I know some people who love Billie Jean. Like, nigga.
No, I love the Michael Jackson songs, but like the first song that popped in my head was Jamie Foxx, Unpredictable, bro.
Oh, for real?
no, like Jamie Foxx with that album, bro. That was a cool little album.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
That wasn't the one with Kanye, was it? The reason I asked is because I just remember so much
was
Jamie
he
and
on that
Kanye.
song? I think he was on that song.
Okay, well,
No, he was.
No, that was Luda.
Unpredictable. Yeah, that was Luda that was on that song. But I think it was around the same time. Shit.
yeah,
That
no,
was a
I feel
Kanye
you.
album, though.
Yeah, because the reason I know because Kanye, God, man, that nigga's amazing. What's your favorite song that you made?
That I made. It ain't even released yet.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
what's up. All right, just say no more. Say no more. It ain't released yet. My
It's
favorite
song.
my favorite song. I'm simple, and the reason I say that is because I know a lot of people like. You could think of some exquisite people to say. You can think of just it's a lot of illustrious people that slept on. You feel me?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but as a simple man who grew up mainstream,
Yeah.
hustler music, Wheezy.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like the reason is like that's what made me want to start rapping. Like you feel me? Like I hear hustler music. I remember when the first time I heard that song. Like I can't remember where I was or what I was doing or where I was at. But I remember the sound coming into my ear that hit me. That hit me. Cause that shit dropped and that shit was music, man. That shit was. It sounded like he to this day. I'm like, nigga, did you have a real band or did the nigga make that beat?
Like,
you feel me? Like, yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that inspires me. Like, I like, cause I know a lot of people gonna make them drill beats, and I just can't. My brain can't hang. Like, cause I'm too churched out in gospel, so I'm ready to make an R&B or a beat like that, like hustler music, cause it just was the dynamic, the sounds. Everything about that was just amazing. Hustler music, God, man, the whole Carter too, for real. But you feel me? Like, is in my opinion is a classic. And I don't know. I feel like people argue. You feel me? Is the Carter 3 is better? But I think in his case, because like don't take my word for it. My opinions probably don't matter to nobody. But I always thought growing up that number 2, like in the sequence, was the best one, because it was always highly anticipated, and it always had that twist that you never knew. Like Spider-Man 2, video games, like one of my favorite games was Spyro 2. Like, it's just a lot of things I can remember. The second one, like Prince of Persia 2, all these things in my head that's just in with 2, like was some of the best ones. Like, and so, but in his case, like I could see people arguing. I was too young. I didn't even know the Carter 3 was coming out. I just one day heard Phone Home and was like, what the fuck? This is the shit.
Oh, that was on the Carter 3?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. That one was crazy.
And so, as a man that loved piano, hearing Phone Home for the first time, this is it. And then, like, the I can't even explain it. The atmosphere you get from listening to that shit for the first time, like you was in space, like that you feel me? Like your brain went straight to space. You didn't know. Like, I'm sure everybody got their own depiction of what it looked like, of course, but like I'm seeing UFOs. We ain't the same. I am Marvin Martian. You feel me? Like, so I'm in that bitch, like, you feel me? Wheezy, it was just a great person, you feel me? Like, there's a lot of other, like, Bruno Mars, I look up to him just because he, like, you know what I'm saying? He stuck to, you know what I'm saying? I believe what was music, you feel me? Like, he ain't, it just seemed like nothing he do is for clout when he make it. So, I mean, a couple Cardi songs, but even then, like, he put his he put the most seems like musical touch. Like, and I remember it was you who showed me Ryan Leslie, who I cannot help but look up to as a person that can play a vast amount of instruments. Like, you feel me? I started off playing the clarinet. And what was funny, I will never forget how I played it. I was mad as fuck when they gave me. I was happy I learned it, but I was mad as fuck at the time because I wanted to play the trumpet. It was shinier. I've seen it. I knew what it was. I'm like, and I'm watching it. I'm looking at this nigga with the trumpet, and I'm listening to my teacher, and she like, yeah, something, yeah, clarinet. And I'm like this, and I wrote clarinet. And then on the paper it was, what instrument do you want to play? And I'm like, clarinet. And I'm like, yeah. And I hand that bitch in. And she comes straight over
the clarinet.
No, I know, I didn't mean to write it. So I'm thinking I'm about to. So I didn't even peep. I wrote it until she handed me a clarinet.
Right.
Like, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I look at the paper. Damn, I wrote clarinet. And then I'm like, and I didn't ask questions. I'm like, I guess this is what she thought I was supposed to be playing.
Right.
So I learned to play that motherfucker. So most people don't know. They might do. I don't. Well, most people don't know, but most people who play the clarinet, I think, know that you can also play saxophone.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Sure, yeah.
So that's was a great perk. I'm so glad. Like, I'm so happy. Like, yes, bitch, I still got me a brass instrument out the deal. You feel me? Like, and it's funny because, like, when it comes to, like, so I was in 3rd grade. That was 3rd grade for me. So that was my first band experience. I played clarinet in there. I got to Apex in 7th grade. I was in a band. I straight walked in that bitch like, yeah, y'all got a band? Oh yeah, I play clarinet. Give me one. You feel me? Just like that. And then I remember being like, shit, let me try the snare. I'll never forget, my dad bought me a snare from Guitar Center, like brand new. Nigga, I thought I was motherfucking Nick Cannon in this bitch. And my grades wasn't good. He took that bitch back a week later. Nigga, oh my God. I was so hurt. He said, oh, bad grades? Oh, I ain't paying for that. Took that, grabbed that motherfucker, packed it back. Make sure you ain't break nothing. Everything in the back. All right. I was heated. I think I got to keep the drumsticks. Like,
that's it.
But I was already good at drums too, so I thought I was just going to hone my skills. But after that, I just said, fuck that band, and I ain't do it. I went to Memorial in 8th grade, and then I joined their band too. And it was funny because at first I wasn't even thinking about the band, like, and then I went in there. I remember it was this girl. Her name, I forgot what her name was. It wasn't Loretta. It was something old school as fuck. But she was like the prettiest girl in the whole school at Memorial. And I know people that went to Memorial in 08 that was in 8th grade know who I'm talking about. And I don't know her name, but I feel like it ended with like an Etta. Like it was like Loretta or something like that. But I don't know. But whatever the case is, she was playing the clarinet, and she was like, they was being more professional. She was like second chair, and I wasn't having it. Like I took first chair, cause I'm like, I don't read music. I hear music and play that shit, and I don't forget it, and I don't mess up. You feel me? Cause by this time I was also playing piano great as fuck. Yeah. So you feel me? Like I'm playing one note, nigga. I can play the piano. So get the fuck out of here. You feel me? Like yeah. So that for me was like that was 8th grade. And then I was gonna join Shaw Band, but the rumors did not stop. I'm talking about they just kept saying gay people ran the band. They gonna haze you and make you do some gay shit or something like. It was just like they gonna. I don't follow orders well. So I'm like, this is the same reason I didn't go to the Army. I don't follow orders well. I don't. Like, and so the Shaw Band, I watch. You feel me?
Right. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I like watching.
Yeah.
I like watching because that, like I said, man, that sound, bro, that, you know, that big ass drum that nigga be hitting? Boom,
yeah.
Bro, just the feel of that, bro, like in the stadium. Bro, that motherfucker feel different, bro. That makes you can feel that in your heart.
Yeah.
That's why I love like going to games and stuff like the band. That's why I love, nigga, my music class is right by the band class on.
Oh yeah.
Shit, so I'm in and out, you know what I'm saying? In and out of class and listening to their stuff.
That's funny. By the time I got to Shaw, no music classes.
Yeah.
But it was cool because I think they synced all the music I had. While 9th grade, I was in Shaw. Not doing nothing because they make you wait to 10th grade. In 10th grade, I go to the School of Arts. Mm-hmm. They make you take a vocation. They like, nigga, what do you do? Yeah, you got to audition, of course. So whatever you audition for, that's what they pretty much put you in. So I auditioned for piano, and they kind of gave me the choice. They was like, you can go band or vocal. Yeah. I'm like, shit, vocal, because you don't play piano in the band. You feel me? And this, in my opinion, was going to be my opportunity to play piano for the school arts choir.
Right.
So that's where I was going with that, which my mom was drilling it into my head, like one day you could do this, and then even one day I asked Dr. Woods, is his name, a legend in the music industry. He masters and PhD, I believe, doctor, of course, PhD in music. So very excel, teaches classical. You feel me? So yeah, so that's where I got 2 1/3 of a year of that training, because I remember I was in there at 10th and 11th, and then 12th I was in there and got kicked out. So I had a couple, but I definitely, the information is retained. So I asked Dr. Woods for some sheet music. I went home, and like I said, reading that shit was hard as fuck. Read it, learned it, gave the sheet music back. And then I remember putting my own twist on it. And he did not like that shit.
Buddy.
He old school. I'll never forget. He did it twice, and it was those 2 twists I put on my songs that was the reason I couldn't play that song for the choir. And I'll never forget. So I'm playing the song, and they get to these parts, and I'm using some of the things that I know from church, because this is a key that I'm familiar in. Mm-hmm. So boom, I hit it, and they go, and then I hit that, boom, and I hit them jazz chords. He like, you can't do that. I'm like, man, what? I'm like, he like, they're singing this, and you're trying to play this, and if you play them together, it sound like that. And I'm like, I hear what you're saying, but music and vocals don't. And so he was just so old school. And then I kept going, and then we got to another part, and then I did it again. I did something different. He like, you can't do that. I'm like, what? He like, you playing this, they doing this. I'm like, okay. So then that was it. He's like, all right, I've seen enough. Like, I'm like, damn, man. But so shout out to Dr. Woods for that one though. But yeah, I just and when by the time I guess I got back to Charlotte, there wasn't no music classes available, because I wanted to be, because she was gonna let me play. Miss Madison was gonna let me play for her choir too, but the song she wanted me to learn was not simple. She wanted me to learn some, and I'll never forget. Like, she had me play it, and she was like, "It's not." Well, it's not smooth enough, because I was used to my first inversion chord, so I'm jumping like this, and I'm not transitioning correctly. You feel me? So she like, it's not smooth, because she gave me the sheet music, and I'm reading the chords, and I can see chords and I can play the chords, but there's also other shit in between that I'm not getting for real. Right. And then even if I do get it, the time is fast as fuck. So I'm like, man, and I played it and I couldn't get it and shit. And I remember she was like, well, you play the drums, you can play the drums for me. I'm like, I can do that all year. So I played the drums for her little concert or whatever. And I'll never forget watching the dude play the song that I couldn't play. She hired a Chinese man. This nigga had long hair. That shit was crazy. Like, man, hold on, man. For those of y'all that didn't see that shit, this Chinese dude was on the motherfucking. Y'all can Google Chinese person playing the piano fast, and you gonna see they hit. They whole body be into it, and I'm like, man, what the hell? Man. And so he playing it, he got it, and now he sound just like the track. I'm like, man, hey, kudos. Right, I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it, man. So let's continue, man. Tell me what it took, as far as you can remember, to build your first studio. As far as speakers, mic, PC, software, where you told me where you got the PC and how it all pretty much came together.
Right. Well, let's see. The PC, my grandma gave from me when she bought from me. My first interface with this little fucking USB thing with the RCA shit and headphones. That was the worst thing ever. Okay. But I had to plug that into a mixer, so I had a mixer. I had a dynamic microphone, that, you know, the one that you really perform with.
Right.
Or do like rock music with.
Okay. Yeah.
And some headphones, like some computer, you know, big doofy ass.
Oh yeah, what you took from the school or something?
Yeah, that squiggly.
Yeah, man, I had like 10 pair of them drums.
Exactly, them from the school.
Hell yeah.
Easy, but yeah.
Okay.
That was my first like makeshift studio.
Okay.
At grandma's house, I ain't gonna lie, man. Kudos to Fred, bro. This nigga, he went around the whole EC and found doors, man. Like hard, thick ass front doors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, though.
Brought them bitches back to the house, bro. We made the box. We took the hinges off, latched the hinges around so we could close the booth and stuff. And it had the one hinge was still regular like a door, bro. And I don't know where we got the ceiling from. I think the ceiling was made out of shit. We took a piece of the garage off. I ain't gonna lie, we took a piece of the garage
I'm
off.
like, man, I'm waiting to hear the ceiling. Like, is it a bed? Is it a
Yeah.
what is
So
it?
we ain't had no light. But I'm like, shit, niggas don't need no light, man. Niggas
For
go
sure.
in there for real, and freestyle.
But they did. Oh, I'm gonna say if you had paper, you probably did.
Yeah, we'd take like a, I'm trying to think. It was something from Walgreens. It's like a little light. You press it and it fold up.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
yeah, so we just had hang that in there.
Oh shit, bad.
So it'd be
Okay.
real dark. And I wasn't even hitting the soundproof all like that then.
Yeah,
So
hell yeah.
the sound in there, bro. I'm talking about the lip, the front doors, bro. The thick front doors sometimes had hella glass in it. But that was the worst sound ever. But it was the first studio.
It was the worst sound for real. I can't imagine just because it was still enclosed.
I mean,
And it wasn't like a bathroom. You know how a bathroom got that sound.
Yeah, that reverb. But it wasn't the worst sound, but it was like you can hear the glass. Like when somebody rapping and like they voice picking up or something like
you
that.
can hear that it's
it.
glass. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a specific sound too. But
Yeah.
that's wild.
I mean, we didn't even know you was supposed to. Like now, niggas, we know about the shock mounts and stuff like that for the mic. So it's like when a nigga stump or a step, you hear that in the microphone and everything.
Yeah,
We didn't even know about gain, like gain stage and nothing. Our stuff was like blaring loud.
Yeah.
Sometimes too low, so the beat is like all you really hear is the beat and people somebody whispering, but it's supposed to be rapping up under it. Like,
Right, for sure.
that was in the first studio.
Okay, all right. So, all right, let's change dynamics just a tad. Tell me a story, if you have any, where you felt like giving up on music.
Man, I feel like every successful artist gotta go through that, but shoot, man. I mean, kind of like earlier this year, like I was going through a whole lot for
Right.
yeah, like losing my son, or like my youngest son, bro. That took a toll on me
For sure.
It still is, you know.
Right.
I'm kind of glad I had like the archive that I got, so I don't have to be like pressured to really make music. So if I need to grieve anything, I can. You know, it'll affect, you know what I'm saying, my business. But yeah, bro, I felt like giving up. I felt like giving up on music. It just wasn't working, you know what I'm saying? My mind ain't in it. I'm not passionate about it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I had to transition from, you know, I had the studio up in the Heights. I had that for like two and a half, almost 3 years. Finally built the booth and stuff and everything. Like that was recently. Lost all that. So I'm like, man, I kind of felt, I feel like giving up between this pandemic for between last year and this year. Like I've been going through that roller coaster of life. But I always, you know what I'm saying, get right back to it because I know what I'm doing it for. I ain't doing this for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it for my kids. You know what I'm saying? For my family and for my future. So when I'm not here, I already left something like a long ass legacy. You know what I'm saying? Did enough to the point where our last name itself will bring, you know what I'm saying, wealth and positivity to us. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I ain't even doing no dumb shit out here. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I don't want nothing to come back and hunt me for you know what I'm saying? So,
When it comes to making music, what are some of the most challenging things you run into?
Shit, having something to say. For real, like making music, man. When you do it for so long, you do it a lot. You know what I'm saying? And you're not doing as much as you used to do. Like, if you in the streets, you got the streets to rap about. You know what I'm saying? If you doing this, you got that to rap about. But if you like for real, I'm just literally handling business. It's like how many times you gonna say you handling business? You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
How many times you gonna say you running?
I completely understand. As an artist that get writer block a lot and need motivation to make a song.
Yeah.
A good song, it don't. I'm chill. I'm laid back. I'm in the house. Where do motivation come from?
Right.
You
Yeah,
feel
I
me?
ain't doing too much of nothing.
You just gotta keep, I guess, listening to music, and I'm not sure what it. I mean, sometimes I hear a song. Sometimes I'll be talking to somebody, and you will say something. And sometimes I hear a sound, like, and I don't know. I when I used to date girls, I noticed that I wake up like with a song in my head, like started singing every day a different song. And I used to ask the girl I date, like, did you wake up with a song in your head? Like, cause it every day, as soon as I wake up, different song. I'm talking about I'm singing it, I'm going to listen to it, I'm playing. I wake up, I never forget. And see, man, on a side note, Harry Potter is one of my favorite movies, the first one, because that scene where he was looking in the mirror and his mirror self had the Sorcerer's Stone and he didn't. And then his pocket got fat and he had it. And so I always wanted to, if I could connect that to dreams, I always wanted to be able to go in a dream and pull something back for real, you know it. And it worked with music. For me, I was in my dream and I heard a song that I hadn't heard since I was like 5 or 6. And I'm listening to it as clear as day in the dream. And I know I ain't heard this song on the radio. I know I ain't heard. Ain't nobody said the phrase. Like this is you know, dreams is just them weird things. So I'm hearing this song and I wake up and the song's still there. Right. And I go to the piano and I'm playing that shit. That's what I got this power to bring back music from my dreams. Like and so like that's just like one of the best things. And but back to the challenges of being motivated, it just seemed like the real challenge is like, you feel me, like even from I mean I'm sure it happens to you for making beats, like you feel me, it seemed like every sound used, I mean I don't know how your brain think when it comes to the beats, but like or especially as somebody who would like to do R&B a lot, everybody chord progression is already took. You feel me, you can use it so many times. Then like what I don't know, most people slow. Because in hip hop, as a beat maker and as a musician, I mean, most musicians know what 4, 5, 6 is called as a chord progression. It's my favorite chord progression. It's the one that they use in most hip hop beats. That boom, 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 boom. Or they'll go boom, 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 or they'll go boom, 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 boom. It's the same 3 chords, same 3 notes, but they use them in different notes, or they slow it down. Same notes, they just use it different. I'm telling you, every fucking song, bro. I get tired of that shit, bro.
That's why music sounds the same.
Yeah, and so that's like, and I did it for a while, but as me thinking, and I just realized there's so many things you can do with that sound, like that, and it's so common. But you feel me? Like I always love when people expound. Like this morning on my way to church, I was listening to a gospel song that I haven't heard before, and they were using some pretty standard chord progressions, but they threw a twist on it, and that's all I be asking for, because gospel music is the worst when it comes to stealing the chord progression of the last person who had it. Like, one person I can say who don't really steal chord progressions is Kirk Franklin and Fred Hammond. Like, they be on another level with it. Like, that melodies from heaven, that shit right there, nigga, there ain't nobody ever recreated that. Like, nigga, like, you can't, like, you feel me? And, like, for him to be black, and sure, he grew up with, like, a hip-hoppy background, like, he even threw some Biggie in some of his stuff. Like, that right there is just, it was just different, man. I crave and strive for different. Like, and so that's always, so when you looking for motivation, trying to be different, you get stuck so motherfucking much. You can't make a beat, you can't write a lyric, like, especially with no motivation, the lyrics would be so dry, like, they just, you can't, and
you just ain't feeling it.
Yeah, so I don't know what to do when it comes to the music side of it. Let's keep going. How confident are you that what you're doing will succeed? And when I say succeed, I mean by your right, not by the world right.
I'm very confident. You know what I'm saying? Because I got the focus.
Okay.
That focus, like.
That's what I wanted to hear. I knew you was gonna say that too. That's crazy.
Like, I have my days, but even when I have my days, that voice in the back of my mind, like, man, you know what you're doing. Like, you wouldn't be doing this for so long and progressing if you didn't know what you were doing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very confident that even if it's just doing a business side or just making beats or just engineering, like anything that I do, I know what I'm doing. And if I don't know what I'm doing, I'm gonna learn it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm focused on doing this stuff until I'm successful. And I ain't worried about somebody's, like, maybe like they wealth bracket or what you got, what you don't got. That's not, to me, that ain't success. Man. As long as I'm happy at the end of the day and I know my family gonna be cool, that's successful to me.
Right. Okay. I'm glad you said that, man, because I feel like everybody need to be family oriented as black men. Like, I'm talking to the men especially, because it just be seeming like They get it the hardest. I don't know if they do, cause you feel me. Like everybody say they get it the hardest. Everybody, women think they get it the hardest. Black women, white women, all women, me too. Men get it. Everybody seems to think that they get it the hardest. Like, and I'm just like, black men though, literally have to be the pinnacle, like that. No one tells what to do. A woman will forever be in a position to be told like what to do because as a wife, they're going unless it's some butch that thinks she can do it all, which you feel me. There's a lot of brainwashing around why women be so aggressive and manly too. But you feel me, like even in like the most dire situations, a big nigga finna hit on a woman and you're her man, they look at you. But and that's why that's why in a way I'm sexist, because until a woman get to play a whole season of football and don't complain about how hard the tackle was, you feel me? I'm gonna forever be thinking like that's not your lane. You feel me? Like it's a lane for you though, and so you feel me? Like so I don't I'm like in that way. You feel me? I definitely feel like women equal pay and all that good stuff. I really don't care. I personally couldn't care about it because it's not mine to care about. I'm not a woman, but I do think it's unfair. You feel me? That women don't get the same pay, and you feel me? It's because it's like I'm trying to succeed. How you trying to succeed? And if I want a yacht with 100,000 bitches on it, it's gonna take me more because you're not paying me like you would be getting paid if you was in this position. So, yeah, I definitely didn't think. I mean, can't necessarily think that's fair. Another into the next dynamic. This is about to go crazy on the switch side, like the way this dynamic about to switch. But right now, I know you. I wouldn't say avid as much as I am. A sort of a conspiracy theorist. What do you make of the music industry? What do you think of it?
Man, music industry. Man, nowadays I don't even know what the fuck going on with the music industry. Bro, that shit's so damn dry and ass to me right now. Like, bro, it's underground artists that I'm like, bro, I rather listen to this shit.
For sure.
Yeah, the industry that did something, I don't even know what they did, bro, but they just gave up or something. Like, bro, the music has no content to me no more.
In the next about say 20 years, where do you think the music industry gonna be?
But it ain't gonna be no industry. Everybody gonna be themselves. Everybody gonna be their own platform, their own label, their own team. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's just gonna be music being passed around in life.
It's gonna be it's gonna be like, you know, your neighbor. They got their own label. You know what I'm saying? They making their own music. You got yours and collab. Like
for sure.
Move to the next place. It'll be the same thing. Like. Or they kid doing something. They're like, oh, you know how to make beats. Or you know how to play piano. My son's trying to learn how to make beats. It's going to be like that with everybody. It's easy. You know what I'm saying? That's probably why the industry isn't really like doing shit right now. Because of that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can just make music. So it's not like back in the day how you had like Smokey Robinson. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like
I was about to say, but it seemed like they trying to make a comeback. Like Bruno is literally, I believe he doing it because he believe he got to.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like
so we need it.
Yeah, exactly. Because without it, it's literally going to die. Yeah. And I mean, his ain't necessarily hip hop, but the whole industry in general.
The industry, they just they blackballed it. They threw it off like they blackballed real music for shit that's gonna make money. And shit that make money is short, simple, and not that much entertaining except for the moment for like I want some like the industry to really go back to how it used to be where they had shit like the Mariah Carey's, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Like that music stick forever.
For sure.
Forever. But like this music nowadays, bro, it's artists that came and went, you didn't even know it. You know what I'm saying?
When you said music stick forever, I thought of Mariah Carey that We Belong Together. That immediately popped into my head. And then right after, a song that's not even in the music industry that popped into my head, but because it got that certain sound, I thought of the Proud Family intro. You and me will always be tight, family every single day and night.
Who did that?
That was Beyonce.
That was Beyonce or like Destiny's Child?
Oh, it might have been Destiny's Child.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? No, like you see what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
It's stuck.
Yes. But that's what I'm saying on the good side of the music.
Yeah, sure.
Controversial topic. This ain't one of my questions, but because we was talking about the music industry and where it's going, controversial topic. Lil Nas X.
I ain't even heard none of this guy's music, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
You know more about him than you do his music.
Yeah, like I don't even know none of his music except for that first song he did. That
Yeah, the Old Town Road.
Song, that came and went. But what he doing, like he just doing too much, bro.
I believe it. I agree.
Like, he's doing way too much. Like out of respect, you get your respect. You know what I'm saying? But if you going overboard, it's like you don't make them look bad. You make yourself look bad.
Right.
And it's like I ain't really fucking with it.
It was a video on YouTube, and it really put it in perspective, in my opinion. It said he ain't doing nothing but make gay people and straight people. Like, no, he making straight people hate gay people.
Yeah.
Like, he's not helping nobody with what the fuck he doing. He trying to, I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna do this. You can just be gay, bro. Nobody got nothing to say about that shit.
Right.
You doing extra shit.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, nobody need to see you dancing on the devil or acting pregnant or motherfucking kissing men on stage. Some shit that's never been done before, and you just trying to be, but you can't be comfortable. Because if you was comfortable, nobody screams, I'm comfortable. You feel me? They sit back and be comfortable. And like, so you screaming like, I'm gay, watch me be gay. And it's like, nigga, just be gay. You feel me? Like,
and make music.
Yeah, be gay and make music, bro.
Don't try to push that in your music all the time.
As a person with gay friends, and like now, and especially because it seemed like it wasn't your agenda. You came out with Old Town Road. You didn't come out with, you feel me? I got 2 friends, shout out to them, 216 Studios in Cali. They both are gay. My friend Kendrick and, oh my God, I'm sorry, I can't remember my nigga name. He was a part of the Jones, but whatever it is, they cool ass people. They promote like sexual musical content because that's what they do. Right. You feel me? And that's their targeted audience. Mm-hmm. They not even targeting straight people. Like, and no, I doubt they are. I they are. I wouldn't per se. I exactly know. I'm sure that straight people was gonna support, but that's what they do. You feel me? Lil Nas X came out with Old Town Road. We thinking you about to just have hits, and then you went all the way left. Like, nigga, everything you do gay. Like, nigga.
It's not even that, because see what he doing is just not gay. It's too much. You know what I'm saying? It's just too much. Like, it's too much. Like, even like it's gay people who don't do that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's that's how extra it is, really. So I already know the answer to this. I think. Would you sell your soul if that's what it took?
Hell no. Hell no. I mean, the younger me, man, probably the younger me, but it's like, nah. I'm like, nah, bro. Like, losing so much. You know what I'm saying? To like life and death, you know what I'm saying? Knowing that their soul is gone, bro. I ain't selling my soul. I don't know for what it is, because that afterlife, man, I'm trying to go with them. I ain't trying to be, I'm soul, nigga. Y'all, I ain't got control. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to have,
okay. For sure. Hell yeah. I would think everybody want that, but I don't think most people even understand what they're getting into when it comes to it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say everybody, but you know what I'm saying? When it comes to soul selling, nigga, you thought you was good. You feel me? Right. And then you're not good. And now you're not happy and shit's just going bad and you can't go back.
Right.
You feel me? And that's gotta be the most painful. Like, I don't know if it's painful, but it's a hard pill to swallow, I guess, because I don't know how people that sell themselves live. But in my opinion, like, it reminds me of this Goosebumps book I read. It reminds me of a lot of shit I read or I see where I feel like I know the outcome because of this one fucking Goosebumps book. This nigga was Halloween. He went and he jumped across this ravine behind this principal house or some shit like that. Then he gets to the other side of the ravine and he go to these parties. And all these parties is fucked up. Niggas is bobbing their head and bobbing apples with real worms and shit. Like, he tried to eat like a donut. This bitch got real bugs in it. Like, he like, what the fuck is going on? He found out he died and he didn't make it across the ravine. So he get to talking to somebody and they like, you can get your life back if you do a good deed. So this nigga, he get back across the ravine, go around doing all these good deeds, and just to find out the nigga lied. Like, you ain't getting your shit back. And I was watching this other movie the other day, man, and I'm like, I know how this gonna end. They done lie. It's halfway through the movie. I'm like, this person doing all this. I bet they don't get their life back or whatever I think this was life. They was just trying to get their real life back. I'm like, and I knew it at the end of it. They like, yeah, nigga, what you thought this was? Yeah, we just played you. You just did all that for nothing. Like, And I'm just like, damn, so selling your soul is not the way to go.
Even on the physical, you know what I'm saying? On the physical, like, not even the spiritual stuff, but on the physical stuff, like, selling your soul, man, you giving somebody else control over your everything, man, your name, your life, for real, for real.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. I ain't finna say no, and y'all say you gotta do it. You sign that contract, and I'm like, hell no.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Okay, next controversy. I feel like it's on the topic of selling souls in the government, really, but it's about to take a deep turn. Do you know who Jeffrey Epstein is?
A little bit. You know what when you like a pedophile?
Yeah, the man who owned the island, was trafficking kids and shit.
Yeah.
And the reason I literally say that to ask one question: where do you think America is headed?
America.
You know?
We are doomed.
You think so?
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, y'all know who our president was, right? We had a whole ass actor.
Yeah, for sure.
Well-known actor. For president. How can I take it serious? How can I take this government serious?
And I agree. They talking about, and that was gonna bring me before I get to my next question though, like, I tell people, I don't know if you got me on Facebook, you probably do, I'm sure, but I was posting, let Trump win the second term. I'm supporting Trump because I'm ready for this world to hit the fucking fan already. Yeah. You feel me? Just hit this to get as bad as it can get. Let police start killing people. Let the military and declare martial law. Do what you gonna do.
Right,
I'm ready for it right now. Because all this bullshit was trying to scare us and then we're easing us into it. I'm ready for it. Like, nigga, don't make FEMA camps in city by city. Tell us it's FEMA day.
Right.
You feel me?
Right. Just come out with it.
You feel me? Like, and so, do you vote and what do you think of voting? That's my next question.
Vote. The only voting I'm doing is what we eat tonight.
I agree, and it's crazy because it's like I watch so many people who seem like protagonists of Earth, of America. Like you got this one dude, Hassan Minaj. He is a Muslim, and he's definitely like I guess Arabian or whatever, but he definitely a part of the Daily Show. He got the Patriot Act, where it seemed like these people are for America, but then like them, it's just little nuances. Like he had one lady, he was like the conspiracies. He's talking about lies and conspiracies, and then plays a video where this lady says that the Rona ain't real. It's it's real. They want to get everybody infected for population control or something along them lines. Yeah. And he was like, "Well, next, do you see how people just lie about everything?" And I'm like, "You know it's a fucking lie. Like, how you know it's a lie? Like, right. and out of all the stuff you expose, you sit there and turn around and say that's a lie. Right. So that type of stuff, you
like a cover.
You feel me? Yeah, it's like out of all those, so you feel me? Like, and then like, so going back to the vote and like, or the government just in general, yeah. After I seen Trump and after he just was doing everything, he didn't get. I remember my TV was stuck on CNN because I lost my remote. There's a Vizio with one button, and I woke up that morning and literally the first thing that was on the TV was Trump said grab him by the pussy. And I'm like, and this was before he got elected, and I just knew he lost. We good. He lost. And he won? I'm like, yeah, that ain't nothing we can do. It's over with. It's a result. So our voting can't be nothing. Cause nigga, nobody could have possibly voted for Trump. Right. And then for everybody to say, and then he said, came on the show and said the Russians did it. Yeah, you fucked it up saying that. If you wanted to fuck up anything, you just say somebody else put their hand in the sauce. Like, nigga, it ain't. We can't take it serious if I put my vote in and then a Russian can put his over my vote. Right. What the fuck?
What's the point?
Yeah. So, that's really where that I think that was the end of that dynamic. So, out of all the musical things you do, what do you think you the best at?
I ain't gonna lie, engineering, because I know how to. I don't know. I done had some beats that's good, but I ain't really had like that. Oh, this is the best beat I ever made. Good melody, but the whole beat in general, no. Like song wise, I ain't there yet. You know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't be rap, wouldn't be producing. But engineering, I done engineered some songs where I'm like, bro, I gotta start charging more for these. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I might take a class or two. I know my engineering skills ain't the best. I wouldn't say it's because I be stagnant. Like I thought I had it, and then like I don't know if somebody told me or I remember I was at church and I EQ'd my father how I EQ me, and he was like talking and he turned over. He was like, "Man, can you turn the bass in my voice up?" I was like, that's what I'm doing wrong. And so literally I went and I started adjusting every song I could that wasn't published, and I could go back and republish anyway. Yeah. And I went and I started turning, and I realized, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's just sound a little Mickey Mouse. Just turn that bass up a little bit, because I was just trying to get that clarity. Yeah. And so I was taking all the bass out, thinking that's what it was. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't like spike that. I would boost it, and I would take all the bass out though. Because you even when you remove, you still also, it's kind of like you turning something else up. Yeah. So that's what I thought was happening. I'm like, if I take out the bass, it's still turning up the clarity. But but you got to take out just a little bit. Yeah. So I think that's everything. I am going to beat on the table. You think you could give us a quick 8 bars?
Quick 8 bars. No, I might be able to play some new shit.
Play some new shit?
Yeah, I can play my unreleased song.
Oh, you use on your phone?
Yeah, I'm planning on releasing them.
Okay, go ahead.
I was going, you know what I'm saying, play it here. That's why I was like, yeah, let me say this. I was going to put it out last week, but I'm like, you know what? Got this interview coming up. I'm not going to save it.
All right.
Debut it right
This the last question. Let's hear it. Let's go ahead. That's all I wanted to do. I figured.
Sure. How you want to play it off the phone?
Yeah, it ain't on YouTube, is it?
Nah, it ain't.
My speaker downstairs. Or I got a little speaker. I got a little. We gonna hook it up to the Bluetooth.
Bet.
Man, yeah. You got some people over you too.
Oh yeah.
You got some fans or something.
Support.
You got some fans, boy. I'm like, okay, my nigga got fans. My nigga got fans. I like that.
I told you
that nigga got fans.
All right, so that is
Bluetooth mode.
Sure. All right, it's cool if I stop this.
Yeah, you can stop that. That's the
all
key.
right, and then I'm gonna,
Yeah, just yeah.
All right, what you say it's for?
This is Fisher, so I'm gonna turn it off. All right, turn it back on.
Bluetooth mode.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And when it don't bing, that means it should be still searching. My phone. Fisher. Wow. All right, let's hear it. New song by Fab Gta, and it is called.
That ain't it.
What's it called?
It's called Envy.
It's called Envy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm over here in my dang on playlist. You know, I still listen to.
Gang, what's up?
Gang. Mar King. Hell yeah, we got Shahari 97. We got Ira Lee 007 or I Riley 007. We got Rardin 0802. We got Cleveland Gamer 23. Man, we got Marmar 216 and the Marmar King 216 in the building. Yeah. Shout out to all y'all who came to stop through, man. Real G shit. Venomous 1. You can do this. Fab Gta. Remember Hannah Cyrus? Who is that? Who is Cleveland Gamer?
T.Y.
Hell yeah, I remember Hannah, nigga. Parties in US, fucking parties in Paris. I'm in a sweet life with a hotel heiress. You say you super duper, girl, is you really? Right, Pop trunk on Molly's dad's one wide on Billy. Nigga, what? Hell yeah, I remember that shit, nigga. You got, nigga, that was a fucking, I'll never forget. I'll tell that story. That nigga Horace told me to make a diss track on Miley Cyrus because he thought she was a hoe. Nigga, straight up like that. The Teen Choice Award, that's why I started my verse like that. The Teen Choice Awards, hop off the pole, slut. You in front of the whole world just shaking your butt. Damn. Right. And hit already Mitchell Musso. Slow, so damn corny, man. I'd rather watch Cusco. KUCCO. That was my ad-lib.
Man, where is that? That's still on YouTube?
I don't think so.
You can see.
I don't know. I feel like I tried to see. I feel like I did, man. That shit, I don't think that shit there.
I'm trying to see if they have this damn song.
Because I feel like it was on your page, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I don't think it was on mine.
You think you had your own channel?
I did, but
you put it on there.
You might be right, but I think I deleted that if that's the case.
classic.
I know.
Dang.
But that's because I was upgrading and I was
I'm
embarrassed.
Twist.
That's Twist.
Oh, Twist. What up,
Kevin
bro?
Gates?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought. My bad. Twist.
Hell yeah, nigga. It ain't going.
Damn, what's your Wi-Fi, bro?
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Shit. It's
That's
Wi-Fi
my
4302. I gotta.
Yeah, that's my goofy ass. I forgot.
Alright,
I'm over here playing it from the email. I ain't even downloaded.
Long ass, dumbass password.
Yeah, this was cool, man. I think people hear this goodness, man. Damn.
I hope this works because it's so fucking long. Alright, good.
Perfect.
Yeah, I ain't going. You type in Hannah Cyrus now, bro. Only Hannah Cyrus popping up, dog. For real. Miley Cyrus popping up. I told him it was a class. I ain't realize how much I would like it later though that it's gone though. Like,
Right.
man, just to go back. I'm talking about nigga, you had that back.
Hey, bro, that was knocking, bro.
One nigga, oh my god, I still don't even know what to think of that shit. that shit was crazy, like nigga, cause it just was, and see, I tell people all the time, man, like, fun, man, like music need to be fun.
Yeah,
If you not having fun, you not making your best music. And I know this from experience, from working with an artist for so long, watching them go somewhere else and listening to the mediocrity. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, he might not think it's mediocre, and he might be getting back into his element. But when he expressed it to me, the freedom I had at your studio to not have to be serious and make a song.
Right.
And then when the hit came around, it came.
Yeah, come around by itself.
Yeah, and then like to hear him go to other studios and other people's studios, and it's like, yeah, you snapped on that boy. Where did that come from, man? and then he like, well, they made me get serious on the track, and I'm like, but then you feel me? That was different. That was one song though. So, but then I heard some other stuff, and it was just nothing stood out. You feel me? And I was disappointed because when he was at my studio, everything stood out. Right. From the beat to the word he chose to say. I remember we had this word we made up because he was like, pull it up into something, Rory of the Lamb. And we tried to make that a word and brand it, Rory of the Lamb. Like literally one word, RARIDALAMB, Rory of the Lamb. Like we was trying to make that a word and brand it, you feel me? Like pull up in a Rory or a Lamb, like Rory of the Lamb. And so it didn't work out, of course, but and I really don't work with that artist no more. Like I said, he went somewhere else, and I kind of listened to his music, and I was just like, man, like you can't hear the turn up in his voice or nothing. This is like he was just serious. Like he got on the track and just laid it down, but like you can hear people smile in the track.
Yeah, you can tell when
you feel me? Like, and so like I got so many songs where you can hear that. Like you can hear like he like I turn to the man, and you know that I am. And then you can hear him at other studios and. I got all my forces, and I'm hitting. I'm on my. It's like you ain't even. It don't sound like you ain't making your best music. Right. It ain't bad. You feel me? By no means. You rhymed. You hit all your P's and Q's. It's a song. It ain't hit. It ain't hit. You feel me? Now you. I mean, that's just one of the things I personally believe that it's supposed to be. It's still on YouTube. I can't find it, Twist. You gotta show me it, man. You better. Post the link. I'm over here typing in Supremacy Hannah Cyrus.
Right, I'm over here trying to find this song. If I can't play it, man, I guess I could just put it out, like release it on the, you know what I'm saying, the platform, but have you play it, you know what I'm saying, on your channel.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
you can do that. You can definitely do that.
Yeah.
Just on some. So we got a special release coming up. We're gonna have a special episode of the pilot where we air Fab Gta's brand new song called Envy. If we don't get it to play today, that is. So
right.
Is it over, or are you still trying to work on it?
You know, let me see. It's a song on here, but they don't have no name, so that's why I don't know if it's it or not. No, that's just a beat. That's just a hard ass beat. Boy.
I already know the truth.
I got some. This is no freestyle. Switch, you still hopping on this?
Hey, Twist, man. He like, look, they like, release that shit, man. You did it.
Yeah, still do it for the Midwest. No stress. I dog, can't say nothing less. Being ready for that action, I'm in the car when you asking. You know that I'm an assassin, quick when it comes to the blasting. I know you niggas be active, finally living on my passion. Like a cobra when react, steadily stacking. Like a lion when attack. If you knew better, you would've did better. I stay with the heat, prepare for any weather. Sprinting the cheddar cause I can't die with it. They said I'ma do it, goddamn it, I did it. Still in the darkness, I'm feeling like Riddick. Venus still live me, the flow is acidic. 2 middle fingers for all of the critics. Said I would lose, but they say that I'm winning. Still ripping the fire, ripping the fire. Play with the feeling, then you gotta die. Said you were right, but it love was a lie. Bringing them hell, gotta make sure they fly. Whenever I'm lost, I'ma look at the sky. Mary Jane with me, you know that I'm high. If you wasn't with me, no piece of the pie. The best and that's something you cannot deny.
Yeah.
That right there, what we was just talking about, that's the motivation, and that I can hear that you about to make me. I got Fruit Loops on this motherfucker. I just ain't got no good speakers. So you feel me? So I got
use some headphones, bro.
man. Oh yeah, that's really what I do. I use fucking headphones, man, and like then I gotta like I made this beat. I was trying to make it. I was actually the other night. It wasn't the other day. It was like a couple months ago actually. Like. I just got this computer and I put my Fruit Loops and shit on it and I'm like, I'm gonna try to start getting back in the beats, but not having the right speakers really fucking with me. So I did make a beat. I was trying to get a hustler music beat going and shit, you feel me? And then I was trying to do it because I put the Fruit Loops on there so fast I ain't download no plugins. I just you feel me? They all on my terabyte, but I ain't import them or nothing. So I like to challenge myself. Use straight Fruit Loop sounds. See what you can get. You feel me?
Yeah. That's where I was telling you. So this work. Yeah, man. I'm gonna see that shit when I get back to the crib, though.
Hell yeah. Well, that definitely concludes another episode of the pilot BMG. Shout out to Fab Gta, man.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, man. That's another episode of the pilot where we interview upcoming artists taking off. Thank you.